So if you look at our process guide, we have now created a main React agent. We have connected our main React agent in Flowwise. We have connected it to now make.com, where the automation flow is happening. And we, along with connecting, we have been able to update Excel, Google Sheet, and our uh, MySQL database on Amazon. And by the end of it, we had two apps live. One with the Flowwise UI, which can take text input and voice input, and the second is the complete voice bot on the React.js front end, right? So now with this, second step is over. Now we will go to the next step, how to create that automation script in Google Script, how to deploy it as web app, and how to connect that to make.com, so that when an instruction comes from our agent here, that things get triggered. Creating a total new Google script is very easy. You just go to scripts.google.com. So this is where you create your script. Go to scripts.google.com. You will come something like this. So this LLM apps is my project, this one. But you create a new project. You start from a new project. You give it some project name. Inside project name, there can be multiple functions or multiple Google scripts, multiple scripts. So keep all of them in one. So untitled project, I will just call it LLM test. This is the project. Now here I will have various all my function and automation scripts and codes. So I will show you how one of them looks like. So these Google scripts, again, I will share it in the GitHub repo. These scripts, all of them are made by GPT only. I have not coded a single line of it. If I want to change it something, I give it the same code and say, okay, please make this change, and then copy paste it here. So the code which I mentioned, the first code which creates a creates a PDF in mail PDF PDF tracker and emails it. It is this Google script. This is how it looks. This is the function. Basic function is there, and I have given the spreadsheet path. I need to give the spreadsheet path and all. Yeah. So this is the code. So this code, it creates the print format. This is taking the whole range, creating the print format, and at some place I would have given her email address. So I have given my email address here, and it emails it. Also, that's it. Very small code here. If you see, it's a very small code. Important thing which I learned later on, GPT only taught me, was for Google script you need to add this function do post or do get, or one or both of them, so that now this function can be triggered by a post request. So this is very important. So GPT will do it itself. You can give this as an example, or you can ask it to do whatever you want to do. So if you are creating something new, you can take this as a base, or you can give voice instructions. So I will show you something, how it might go. To create a Google script for me, which will take a spreadsheet, Google spreadsheet, and create a print format of it in PDF, and then email it to an email ID that I will specify. Yeah. And I want that script to activated or triggered via a HTTP request also. So can you make that script for me, please? And and also let me know how to set it up step by step. So this is a very small instruction. You give all the instruction file IDs here. This is the so and so whatever you want for automation or this thing. So it creates a basic script, and it will also let you know, this is how I did it first time. It created the script, and then I copy pasted error also. You will get an error. So again, copy paste the error, or paste the photo of the error. So basically what you need to do is you just copy the code, and then you go and we have created that test. We were this new, so LLM test we had created. So here you can create a new one, Control A, Control V. So you just post the whole script there. You can make this script here, and then you give this a name. You give this whatever name you want to give. Script name, whatever name you want to give. So now you have this script, assuming it does whatever you want it to do. So this script is the same. So similarly you will do the script for the Google Slides automation also. You will go voice type out your instruction that please pick up the file from this Google Sheet link, and from there please create a slide like so and so. So the script will look like this. We don't need to go in too much detail into the script. I anyway copy paste the whole thing. So but just for interest, the make slide, this is the function which creates the slide. It takes the data from that Google Sheets, and then it puts title text, subtitle text, all those boxes and all, it creates same format. uh, the third function I have is for emailing the slide, which is slide which is again, it takes the data whatever I told it, whenever you are sending out some file or so on, you add the date after, as a suffix. So it added the date as a suffix. So again, it is, you have the do get and do post function, which are important for HTTP requests. Again, all this coding was done by chat GPT. I showed you chat GPT 3.5 is very incredible. Earlier I used to use 3.5, now I use 4. Both are equally very effective. You just need to give all your instructions for whatever you want to do, that create the slide here, make this box like this, and so whatever you wish to do, you can do it. For templatized slides like this, I think there is a better option to do it with templates, but here I just asked it to create boxes and populate it. But that's an example of an automation. Any other automation that you want to do with Google Sheets or Google Slides can be done here. So now you have that code, and you need to your code, you put it here, and whatever this code is, whatever this code is here, you test it out. How you test it? You run it. So when you run it, it will run it here. Attempted to, but it was deleted. uh, uh, so it is whatever it is doing, some kind of execution started, but there is nothing here, so it is giving an error. So but when you are actually doing it, you will keep getting this error. So then you copy paste this error. You can just screenshot this error, or you can screenshot this error and paste it into chat GPT, or you can just copy paste this execution log, write this, you can paste it here, and paste it here, and it will tell you so and so what has happened. You do this, do whatever XYZ, right? So you test it. Once you have tested it, so you have all your functions are ready, and they are working, and they are testing here. When you run it, you run it, and now it is creating the PDF file and saving it in a directory that you want, or it is creating a PDF file and it is emailing it to you. So that is working. Now next step is to deploy it. How do you deploy it? Very simple. So now you need to deploy it and establish the connection. So very simple. You just come here, deploy. I'll say deploy this project. So I will say new deployment. So you have to do this. If you have three scripts, three separate Google scripts, each doing different things, you need to deploy all of them. So I will say deploy new deployment. So it's asking that please select a deployment type. So I will say I want to, it has got all these options. I want to do it as a web app. So I'll say web app. Okay. So when I say web app, I can give whatever description key. This is what does this do? This function does so and so, right? Execute as me. And who has access? I'll say everyone with anyone. Currently, I will say anyone because we will be accessing it from outside, right? Or I can say Google account only or whoever, but initially to test it, anyone. Now I will say deploy. Now when I say deploy, I get a deployment ID, and see, this is the what I get. I get a web app URL, right? So we have to copy this web app URL. In case you forget this web app URL, you can go to manage deployment and you will get the same web app URL. So I will copy this web app URL, and we will keep it with us. And in case we forget, we can always go to manage deployments, and it will show us what our deployments are. And this is the web app URL, which will be scripts.google.com, and it will typically have something called /exec there. Now we have a script which works. Now with this web app URL, we need to go to make.com. So in a make.com, if you see here, this HTTP request, so we add a HTTP box, right? So we add the HTTP box here, and we put the URL here. So that URL that we got, we put it here. Simple, nothing great there. I say I'll add a module, and I will say HTTP module, HTTP make a request. So we will add a make a request module. So now it is, I will delete, I will need to connect it here, right? We need to do the right connections here, right? Uh, I can delink it here, and then link it here if I want. I will just temporarily link it, and then later on, this is the live scenario. So later on I will delete it. So this is the same HTTP new, you link it here to the router again. Then URL, same thing that we copied. Sorry, URL is the okay, we take the new deployment, manage deployment, we go and take the this URL and copy paste it here. So this is the URL. Post, I will say post, right? We are I'm just triggering it, right? So post, remaining nothing is required, everything is fine. It will just uh, we can do more complex stuff here, right? It's HTTP request, we can add parameters, we can execute a query which is given as a parameter. We can instead of hard coding the emails, we can get the email user defined, pass it as a variable here, right? From there, right? So that now once you do this, that's it, you are all set. So this request is now all set. Only other thing which you have to do is when should this node be triggered. So I'll go to filter. This node should be triggered as when this type which is coming from the main JSON schema, when this type is report. I'll say okay, right? So now this is set up, like I have set this up. So this is my live scenario, I just added a node, so I will delete it. I will delete that. So this is my live node, looks the same, like URL post, same, complete it. When will this be updated? When the type is report. And the way it does is, it when the type is a report, it will report this, and then after this it will immediately run this one. I can run it in sequence also. What is this one? This is my script which keeps the deck ready. So it same thing, exactly same thing. No, only two things to be copy pasted: URL, post, finished. And then similarly here also, we have created an automation script which emails the deck, right? So it only emails the deck. I just kept it separate. So again, create the automation script in the Google script like I showed here. You go here and you create another automation script here for whatever automation script you want, and whatever you want to get triggered, you put the URL here, you give a post request, and you can give a filter. When should this be triggered? You can add different options. If for your use case might need different kind of things, it might have different triggers. You can be triggering an update into a CRM system, into Zoho, right? All those things it can do. It can, if you see here, add a module, I want to trigger something into Zoho. Zoho, whole amount of CRMs are there. HubSpot is there, and it has got Zoho CRM. You can do things there. So automation scripts in Google Scripts done. Very simple. We deployed it. While deploying it, we get this URL, web app URL. You come here, you add a HTTP node, post, add the URL, finished, matter over. Okay. So now all our flow is now ready, right? All this flow is now ready. We started with webhook, updated this. All these are routers, conditional router, right? If it is update, then this will happen. Report, this will happen. Report, this will happen. So this is a fairly simple workflow. There are some very powerful and astounding workflows. If you look at Nick Sarev's video, lovely, strong, all a lot of stuff that it is doing. So now with this, our workflow and automation is all set. And once we send a request from there saying please send me the report, it will send us a report in the email as we had mentioned, and same for the deck. So that's it. So now we have done how to make an agent, we have done how to connect the agent to make.com, we have seen how to create a Google app script and deploy as a web app. And this is just an example. You can use this, you can use single component, multi-component, any way you like. So now we have so at this point in time, we have a functioning web app. But now it works. Now this is the interesting piece, right? So now I'll show you one very interesting piece here. So this is the app which is working, right? This is my live app. So at this point in time, we have the tool which is connected here, and it can update, report, deck. We have tested it, it works. Now what we have to do is, I can directly deploy this. We can use this directly. We can also use this directly as an app. How? We go here. This is ready to go, by the way. So we go here, and now we can use it in many ways. In our case, I am using this option where I will be using this endpoint to call this flow, but which I will explain later on. But at this point also, this app is ready to go. All that you need to do is, for example, you do share chatbot. When you come to share chatbot, you say make public, right? So I say make public. Oh, I had kept it private because I'm not accessing it via this link. So add this embed link, right? So this chatbot is now available. If you want to embed it, it is available to be embedded into any of your app right now. You don't need to do any React thing at all. Or if you simply want to use this chatbot like so, and there are some customization options which are there, I will copy this and I will save it, right? I will save this and I will come here, and in addition I will come here, I will go to configuration, and in configuration there is speech to text. So I want to suppose this app, I am doing speech to text separately, but suppose for this app I want to do speech to text. So I will simply say OpenAI Whisper. It will ask my credentials. I will connect my OpenAI credential. Language I will keep blank, doesn't make a difference. So save. So now this web app, if I go here, Control V, so this is the web app chatbot. So here you go, it is live now. I can put I did not put a header there, but I can put a header. In my case, I am not using it as a window, but you can directly use this app as it goes. So if I ask it, it also has voice enabled here, right? So I can say, hey, can you update a new item? Call it Vector Shift LLM Low App Development Platform. So this is the same live app where I am accessing it via Flowwise, right, chat window. So it has gone and updated it in the Google Sheets, right? So here this is the last one, Vector Sheet LLM Low App Development Platform. This is the one we did. It updated here. So keep in mind, at this point in time, you have a fully functioning chat box. This is a public URL. Can go live public URL. You can embed this into your website. You can embed into website or whichever way you want to deploy. Now this is the Flowwise. So this is good to go. Now at this point in time, you can connect it to, I have earlier shown that this GitHub repo which I had shown, this is a working framework, right? And this was the one that I had shown earlier. So this will say it is updating, but it is not updating because I have not connected, we have not connected it to our whole flow. So in order to connect to the whole flow, there is only one thing to be done. This part will work, right? For these things, other things we have to do. So all that we need to do now is connect this to that whole Flowwise flow, which is already connected to make.com. So how do we connect this to the Flowwise flow? Now, slightly different process. What is the process? So if we come here, so just keep in mind, it can be when we come here, share chatbot gives you an embedded box. You get a whole embedded box. But if you do not want their UI or their chatbot, and you want to customize it like we want to do, then Flowwise has a marvelous functionality, very powerful stuff. It's that you come to curl, and here you take this prediction endpoint. So this is the API endpoint where we can send the API request and get the response back. And you can also set the memory so that it remembers. In this case, I have not set it. So you just take this. You just take this one, API endpoint URL, Control C. You take this one, and we come to this. We come to our. This thing I have opened in the GitHub code spaces. You can open it in whichever editor you prefer. I use GitHub code spaces in case I want to use cursor ID, which is then I go work from a on the cursor ID one. Now, so you come here. All that you need to do this is if there are complex changes, I show in my part 3. This is Claude Dev, install as a marketing this thing. More complex changes, you can just ask it to do it, it will do it. But this is a fairly simple change. All that you need to do is you come to this simple voicebot.js, right? And here we have this, right from top. If you come down here, we have this one, speech to text is there, and then we have the get chat completion. So this, you see this URL, if you see currently this is a temporary holding one. So you come here and we just paste the new. We come here and we just paste the new URL. That's all. Now with this one copy paste here, it is now connected to the whole Flowwise whole chain that we just created. So let's test it. Let's see. I will do npm start. and let's see if that works or not. So at vim start, so it is opening. So it has opened. Now where in this Excel sheet last entry was vector sheet LLM vector shift LLM app development platform. So let's add we will add one more item there. Connected. Let's try it out. So open API key is saved here. So I'll, hey, can you update with a new item? It is Jina.ai, Jina.ai. It's a web scraping API based tool for LLM, especially for LLM apps. So it is a processing request, and let's see.
The tracker has been successfully updated with the new item, Gina.ai. If you need any further assistance or updates, feel free to ask.
So it has updated. This is the new one. We were last second entry was this. This is the third entry which is put, right? So all that we did was, what did we do? All that we did was we just came here, put this one URL here, matter over. Right? Now this is currently still in. Now this is currently still on the GitHub code spaces browser, right? This is not a public URL, testing URL. How do you go live? Going live takes what, 1 minute with Vercel. So I will commit it. Updated URL, and I will push it. So let's see if it has come here. So source with updated URL. So it has come here. Now all that we need to go is we go to Vercel. We go to Vercel and we say add new. I'll say add new project, and you need to connect your GitHub repo once, you know, log in and just connect it. So it will show your repositories which are connected. So this is the one. I'll say import, and I will say you can give your project name. I'll say temp delete later on, and root directory is root directory is same. No change in root directory. I will say deploy. This is a very small project. It has got all these are considered as static websites, so it's all free on Vercel. You can use whichever your, you know, Netlify or whichever. All of them work the same way. 1 minute, less than 1 minute, it gets deployed. You get this message, and let's see if it is working and updating it or not. So I will go. As you can see here, it is now a public URL. You know, this Vercel creates its own URL, so it's a public URL. You can change it to your custom URL. Enter my OpenAI key, and let's test it out. Hey, can you update with a new entry? Firecrawl AI. Again, it's a web scraping platform tool, especially suited for LLM apps. So it's processing the request. Let's see what happens. Here it comes, Firecrawl. It has updated, right?
The entry for Firecrawl AI has been successfully updated in the tracker. If you need any further assistance or updates,
right. So what did we do? Just to summarize, what we did was a whole chain we built up. You had this whole chain here, and if you just want to deploy your bot like this, you share your chatbot. This link is a chatbot which can take in voice inputs, can't reply in voice, and it can work with text input also. And if you want to connect it to the React frontend, all that you need is this one endpoint. This one endpoint, we just did it in 1 minute, right? Here, replace, push it, deploy it to Vercel. We have the main agent created, connected to make.com. Google scripts are done, connected to make.com, and we have a fully functioning voice bot. What we want to do next? Next is what we want to do is we want to design or give a custom front end and add other things. So that's why we are going for React. Okay. So we will go on to the next step where we will see how to create a user interface with React.